Hey guys, I'm MB, founder of underdogchance.com, and in this video I will share my betting model projections and today's play of the day for Thursday, June 19th. So far, close to 9 units of profit. The goal is to make 35 units. Yesterday I shared Cincinnati and it was a winning bet. Both winning bets, Cincinnati money line and Cincinnati first 5 innings. I will also give you a couple of tips about betting a model at the end of this video, but let's start with projections. And of course, if you want to learn how to use betting models on your own without following sports picks, visit underdogchance.com because this is exactly what I teach others. I believe that every sports bettor who is sharing or teaching others, the goal should be that you become independent bettor, not dependent from me. Okay, this is my goal, and that's what I teach on my website. But anyway, let's go to projections, and I hope you can use these numbers to make better bets today. Okay, Minnesota, Cincinnati. Yesterday I had Cincinnati; it was a winning bet. But in today's game, I don't see any value. This is why I see the number negative here. Those are my projected winning percentages in D column. In E column and F column, I turn these projections into American odds and decimal odds. I use decimal odds, which are much better for betting models, for understanding the numbers, and those are bookmakers odds. You can look with your own eyes the discrepancies, and this is the difference between Novik bookmakers probabilities and my projections, and this is adjusted Kelly criterion, which calculates the difference, and I'm looking for the number 1.5. This is qualified bet, but in this case my numbers and bookmakers numbers are very similar. Okay, Colorado, Washington, Chase Dollander against Trevor Williams. My betting model gives 57.39% of chance to Washington. My projected was 1.74 on Washington, 1.68 from bookmakers. I don't see any value. Then we have Angels against Yankees. Based on my projections, Yankees should be 1.32. They're 1.39. So I think there is a value with Yankees money line. There is a lot of people say juice, but the odds are big or small in decimal. Depends how you talk. But we in decimal say the odds are small because once you multiply your stake with 1.32, you get small profit from this. Okay, in USA they will say juice is big or the odds are big or whatever, or minus is big. I don't see a value enough in this game, but it would be qualified bet if this would be 1.45. That would be a qualified bet. But I still think there is small value with Yankees, no matter if they are huge favorites. A lot of people confuse this. They think if some team is a huge favorite, that there is no value. This has nothing to do with the value. The value only describes the difference between your projected odds and bookmakers odds. Okay, Arizona, Toronto, Nelson against Gaussman. My betting model gives 59.29% of chance to Toronto. My projected odds 1.69, bookmakers 1.76. I think there is small value with Toronto. Not good enough for me because I'm a little bit more selective. I'm looking for bigger discrepancy. But if I need to pick anything, I would go with Toronto money line. There is some value. Cleveland, San Francisco Giants, Gavin Williams, Logan Webb, two right-handed pitchers. I have Logan Webb and San Francisco at minus 208 or 1.48. Bookmakers 1.6. I think there is a value with San Francisco Giants. Again, if I need to pick any team here, I would go with San Francisco. Philadelphia, Miami. Based on my projections, Miami should be smaller underdog. So if we have two favorites with small value, I think there is a value with Miami. Okay, of course there could be some lineup changes, but my projections show that Philadelphia will have 52.13% of chance to win this game. Miami only 47.87% of chance. And my projected odds are plus 109, bookmakers plus 157. So in other words, with these odds I get more than I would expect. So I expect 109, they are giving me 157. There is discrepancy, but I also have my own criteria where I look for a little bit bigger discrepancies, but this is very close to be a qualified bet, so I would go with Miami. Kansas, Texas, Milwaukee, Chicago Cubs. I would stay away from these games. If you watch my videos or if you have my betting model, you know that average pitcher doesn't have enough stats, so I simply skip this game. Then we have Mets against Atlanta. Based on my projections, close to 50-50 game with advantage for Braves. But this is also what bookmakers think. Bookmakers have Mets as a small underdog of plus 111. I have them at plus 106. Not enough value. Baltimore, Tampa Bay Rays, Charlie Morton, Drew Rasmussen, two right-handed pitchers. I have Tampa Bay at minus 119, bookmakers minus 147. So there is no value with Tampa Bay, but maybe Baltimore or is a little bit underrated. And then we have Colton, Gordon, Jacob Lopez. Based on my projections, I hope I didn't miss the picture again. But based on my projections, there is no value in money line in late game. But at the start of the game, I have a value with Houston. Okay, so I have Houston should be 1.69 in first part of the game. Bookmakers have this at 50-50. So there is a value with Houston. Okay, it is 1.94, not 1.93. So this is 1.5 unit play. Why? Because my betting model gives 59.22% of chance to Houston in first five innings. Okay, first five innings are doing great this season, even better than money lines. Money lines are close to break even, but first five innings are close to 13 units of profit. Okay, then we have San Diego Dodgers. I would stay away from this game. Pittsburgh, Detroit. Those are my projected odds when I was making projections in the morning before I went to a gym. I didn't see the odds. Some shady bookmakers, but I don't take them seriously. But those are my projections. I hope these numbers can help you to make a final decision if you bet. And we have a double header. I usually stay away from double headers. I mentioned this a couple of times. I don't know who will start, who will be in the lineups. A lot of questions. Sometimes they maybe rest players. I don't know. So I usually stay away from this game. So, but that doesn't mean that you can not see the value. My betting model gives better chance to St. Louis. You can see my projected odds, and those are bookmakers' odds. Okay. Another thing, I will just couple of words about AI and building betting models. Okay, I see people they try to get my betting models and then they try to type blindly teams. I believe that every professional bettor who wants others good, uh, my responsibility is that I teach you how you can become independent bettor, not that you follow blindly me, okay? And your responsibility is that you put enough effort, take the advice, take the teachings, and you actually want to become independent bettor, okay? Because people are afraid about AI, okay? But I believe that AI at this moment, it is still not there that you will just say, okay, create a betting model for me. And then million people will do the same and you will get the same result. Because in sports betting, the competition will always be relative. What that means that top 5% of people will win, okay? So if everyone is becoming better, then those top 5% of people also must become better. It is not static, okay? You cannot just be the same person this year, next year, and you expect that you will become a long-term winner. Okay, I do these videos since 2015. I make projections, I make bets, I share my knowledge, I share my results, and I still keep doing. I'm not like doing this for 2 years and then you see only podcasts and Twitters, right? So I still try to do this and try to show profitable results, and I try to improve. And I think this is the most important thing, because with AI you will have an assistant, but at the end of the day you will still need to tell him what to do, and that's what I teach. Okay, and I will explain how this betting model was made. It is always made based on very simple logic. Okay, there is one pitcher on the mound, okay, and this pitcher has some statistics. These statistics describe his skill, right? And then next, what is next? He will pitch against some teams, some players, right? So what are these players? How can we describe them? They also have some stats, okay? And then I see, okay, this stats from a pitcher, he was pitching against good teams, against bad teams, against I don't know, other teams, some other teams, and let's say that this number, some advanced ERA metric, this is against average team, okay? And then I see the teams that will hit against him, and I want to see if they are better than league average or worse than league average. And if they are better than league average, then I expect that his ERA metric will go up a little bit, because with ERA, we know that the bigger number, the weaker pitcher, right? So I want to multiply this. I want to adjust this a little bit with the higher number, right? And if he will face very good team, very bad team, then his ERA, I want that it goes a little bit down, right? And I do this also for the other team, and then I get two teams with projected runs, and from projected runs you can do this with some distribution. You can calculate probabilities, and from probabilities it is very simple to calculate the odds and the value. Okay, this was very simple, but of course once you have this core idea, you can go a little bit deeper. Then you see that the pitcher will not pitch the whole game. Okay, so what then? So you also need to add bullpen. So you say, okay, 60% of the game I will use pitcher against this team, and let's say 40% of game I will use bullpen against this team. Okay, then you can also go a little bit deeper, and then you see that not every pitcher is pitching 60% of games, and you can simply take his average innings per game, and you can calculate percentage of whole game. So innings per pitch divided by 9 innings or 8.5. You can go also even deeper if they are playing at home. You can also adjust this a little bit, but keep it simple at the start. Okay, so you can use 60% of pitcher and then 40% of bullpen. Okay, the next thing what you see that some teams or players are hitting better against lefties and then against righties. So what you want to do in the first part of the game, in 60% of the stats, you want to use only hitting statistics against, let's say, lefties, is if your pitcher is lefty. So in Google Spreadsheets, we use if this pitcher is lefties, then give me stats from players hitting against lefties. If this player is righty, then just give me against righties. Okay, this is very simple to do with Google Spreadsheets. Okay, and then for the 40% of the game, the last game, you want to use overall numbers, because you don't know if bullpen relievers will be, I don't know, lefties or righties. Okay, so you want to use this is the best prediction. Okay, and then once you understand this, you can, the next step, you can go a little bit deeper. Okay, you can say, okay, I want to use, I don't know, this pitcher statistic for last season, for this season, and last 14 days, and then you can give little bit weight. So I will go, I don't know, 50%, 0.5 multiply by this season stats plus 0.3 multiplied by last 30 day stats plus 0. How much will have to multiplied by less 14 days stats, and then you get that pitcher statistic, right? You can always go a little bit deeper, right? And the same with player statistics. Okay, we have overall player statistics against lefties, against righties, and then you can say, okay, I want to include last 14 days. So you will say, okay, I will take overall team statistics, let's say 80%, 0.8 multiply by overall statistics plus 0.2, and I will give a little bit more weight to last 14 days. There is all kind of things you can do, but what is very important, you need to understand that very simple core idea what you want to do. You have one pitcher, he's pitching against the teams, both have statistics, and then you say, okay, if he's pitching against good team, I want that his ERA is going a little bit up, and if he's playing against weaker team, then this ERA I want that is going down a little bit, because lower ERA is better, right? And how you see if this team is better or worse, just simply calculate the average and you will see if this is better than average or weaker than average, right? And this is the core idea. And then, of course, you can go always deeper and deeper, add more and more layers. Okay, but to do this, it is very, very important to learn spreadsheets and simple functions. And there is basically 5 6 functions you need to understand. I see this is one thing many people make a big mistake. They just want to bet and they will never win at sports betting. Okay, you need to learn, sit down, open a computer, learn basic things. Okay, what are basic things? You need to know how to calculate the average, how to use functions. Okay, simply type here function and whatever you want to do. Okay, so I can show you, let's say here. Okay, you simply type some function, I don't know, 4 plus 4. Okay, you need to understand functions, you need to understand vertical lookup function. Okay, this is one function that is very useful. Then you need to understand, let's say, import HTML function, so you can scrape the data. You need to understand average, and median. Okay, those are basic functions that you must learn, maybe 1 day, 2 days, and you learn all these functions and use them as a notes. Okay, so you have the core idea that because you know the sport. Right now this is baseball, then it can be handball, volleyball. You look at the game and you see what is happening. Okay, so they are hitting the ball, they are defending, there are stats for this, there are stats for this, and how you can combine this. And with couple of functions you can build any betting model. Okay, it is not complex for people who are actually willing to take some effort and put some work, not just typing themes like monkeys, or just bet. Okay, and once you do this, maybe take 1 day or 1 week, depends, of course. If someone is much more familiar with computers and spreadsheets, he will use, I don't know, 2 days. And if you're new to computers, maybe you'll need 1 week if you really sit down and focus, and then you have a lifetime skill and knowledge, so you can build anything. And this will be important because AI will be assistant, but at the end of the day you will need to have your own unique idea to win. Okay, and those are my final words for today. I wish you good luck and see you next time.